Hey y'all, it is that time of year again. We are doing our chicken order. We just submitted it last night, which I did actually mean to video, but I completely forgot when my husband submitted the order. But I will show you how we get ready to receive our chickens. I started by making some room in my garage, cleaning up some little knickknacks and moving around some toys so that I could put out our little brooder. I remember the very first year that we did chickens, we put them in the bathtub and I swore never again because one, the smell, oh my gosh, I still can't get it out of my head. Two, the dust. The amount of dust that these little feather creatures create is insane. So a couple of years we did just troughs, and now we got this little half wall brooder so that we can do more at once and they have a little bit more room to roam around. After I clean up a spot and sweep a bit, I am going to lay some really soft shavings down. Some people like to do pellets, some people do shavings like I'm doing, some people do shredded newspaper. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite method is. Ours is, of course, wood shavings because one, they are absorbent, and two, I can compost them when I'm done. Now I'll go through and get all of my chicken feeding and watering tools out. We've got quite a few of these, so I'm just going to give those a quick wash with the help of my little snack-sized chicken farmer. Alright guys, so the basic setup is we have this little half wall type thing. We have fresh shavings in the bottom. We have a waterer at either end to make sure that they are close to water at all times. We have smaller feeders and a bigger green feeder just to make sure they also have constant access to food from multiple points and there's no feeder crowding. We have a heat lamp right here for the nighttime when it cools off in the garage. And then we also have an air conditioner right here for the daytime. When it gets really hot in here, we don't want our chicks to overheat. So I just got a call from the post office saying that our chickens are in, so I'm gonna go and pick them up right now. I picked these little fuzzies up from the post office and brought them straight home. We received them 2 days after we ordered them online, and when we ordered them from the hatchery, they shipped them at 24 hours old. So these guys are only a day. Guys, so far everybody is looking really healthy. Oh, sorry.
Can I hold one?
Hang on. I gotta get them out first.
Get them out first.
Yeah, you can hold that one. Do you say cheese?
Cheese.
Careful, don't drop it. My kids absolutely love this process. So the first thing that we want to do after we get these guys out is get them some food and water.
Yeah.
Because they just had a very long journey.
And where's right there?
Alright guys, they are all out of the container. The great news is there were no casualties over the trip. So I'm just going to get them some food and some water and we'll check back on them in a minute. Alright, so we've had them home for a couple of minutes now. We have 2 water troughs out. It's pretty warm out here in the garage, so I do not have the heat lamp on, but it's not necessarily hot enough that I have to have the air conditioner on yet. These guys are looking great. Some of them are already eating and drinking, and they're pretty rambunctious. So I have high hopes that all of these guys will pull through. But if we do end up losing a couple, it is to be expected. But hopefully we won't. So let's keep our fingers crossed that everybody stays nice and healthy. I made the mistake of going to Cal Ranch today. I swear I only went there to get supplies and some grower for my other chicks, and I saw these guys and absolutely couldn't help myself. So I got 18. Careful. Can anybody say chicken math?
I got it. I got
The first couple of weeks is definitely my kids' favorite part of having chicks. And quite honestly, it's definitely mine too. I mean, look at how freaking cute they are. The next day, everybody was still alive and looking fantastic. So no casualties so far, which is a big win for us this year. Okay, so it is day 4 of having our little baby chickens. And so, well, it's day 4 for these guys and day 3 for the laying hens. And so far, still no casualties, which is fantastic because out of over 40 birds, to not have lost any is really, really amazing. If you have ever raised chickens, you know how good that is. So far, it has been really warm in the garage, so we have not had to use the heat lamp at all. However, during the hottest part of the day, we will turn this on and it blows cool air on to the chickens so that they can get a little bit of relief from the heat just during the hottest part of the day, but then we turn it off as soon as it starts to cool off. We got these guys in the beginning of October, and where we live, it was still reaching triple degree weather during the day and cooling off to much cooler temperatures at night. So maintaining a steady temperature in the garage as to make sure that they did not either overheat or get too cold, because these guys are so fragile the first couple of weeks. And of course, they love kicking shavings into there. So a couple times a day, I'll come in here and open it up and just clean the shavings out so that they still have access to the food. But other than that, everybody is happy, healthy, doing really, really well. Okay, so these chicken nuggets are getting a little too big for their little house here. So, hubby and I are going to be moving them to their new home. For this, we're just going to use this old box and some tape, just as a temporary container in order to move them. Now enjoy watching me try to catch these suckers. Okay, we have them all in here, and they are a little stressed out, so I'm going to give them a minute or two just to kind of chill out, catch their breath before we load them up into the tractor and move them. All right, so after just a couple of minutes in here, they're starting to move around and peck, which tells me that they're absolutely fine and comfortable. So we're going to load them up into the tractor and get them moved. These guys right now are about 2 weeks old, and even though they have a fairly large brooder in the garage, they were big enough to hop over the wall, and that tells us that they're ready to go outside, but definitely not ready for general population. They'll spend a couple of days in here, and then we'll let them out into this larger fenced pen area away from hens like her, who will certainly peck them to death until they're bigger. Get back in there. Thank you. I'll save you from this next transfer and just jump shot it. All right, they're all in their new home. They seem to be settling in quite fine already. Already pecking, already settled down. All right, so we'll just put this top on there so that none of the big chickens can get in there and harm them. Mike's just getting them some water right now. And yeah, Once they're big enough, they'll graduate to the bigger pen and then finally out into the world. So they will sit in this setup for just a couple of days just to get them acclimated to being outside, and then we will open it up just like this. This is a few days later, and you can see that they are much more successful this way. We still have not lost any chickens, which is awesome. Okay, so we are about 6.5, almost 7 weeks into our baby chicks, both the meat chickens and the egg layers. I don't need your help, Rue. I would love to show you now what they look like and how fast they grow. It's insane. Okay, so as you see, they have been out of this for quite some time now. They were only in there for just a few days until they got big enough that they couldn't make it through these little holes. They are still separated from our larger hens just so that nobody's getting picked on, but these laying hens will only be in here for another week before they go out into general population, and these guys will be harvested around that time. So you can see the size difference in these Cornish cross chickens compared to just your regular laying hen. Some of these guys are so beautiful. These guys are very slow and pretty docile, but they will absolutely get picked on if we put them into general population at all. With fully grown chickens, they will just get destroyed. So they stay separate for their entire life from the rest of our flock because all they really want to do is lay down. So that is the life cycle of our meat chickens. Most of those guys we are not actually going to end up keeping. They've already been sold. So after harvesting, we will vacuum seal them and give them to whoever is going to enjoy them. A couple of them I will keep whole and put into our freezer, and then a couple of them I will part out. So I'll have, you know, drums and thighs, breasts, you know, the different parts of the chicken. And we'll probably be doing another round just for us here next. So this next 2 months will be just the chicken that we will be using for our own family. So if you are interested to see our harvesting process, you can find that in one of our other videos, and I will definitely link the title of that video below. So in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to see more content, and give us a comment if you can to let us know how you like our content or what you would like to see next.
Thanks for watching. Thank you.